Welcome back to Contract Lancer, ladies and gentlemen. We will be discussing when is it appropriate to burn down bridges, aka when can you quit your job? What are good reasons to quit your job? What are some bad reasons? What are the consequences of doing so? So stick with me, we'll be discussing that today. Welcome back from the subscribe thing that I always put here. Last time I talked about getting fired. So I will link a video right here in case you want to talk about, getting fired and how to deal with it. This video is the complete opposite. This is when you want to leave your job on your own terms because for whatever reasons. However, should you leave your job and how should you leave your job if you decide to do it? So, in my experience, contractors and freelancers are usually the first to go when it comes to, getting fired or leaving your job. The reason being is because you are always looking out for number one and you can only promote yourself. So in light of that, there are actually two reasons why anyone would quit their job. Number one, if it's about the money. It's always about the money with us, right? Contractors and freelancers are always looking for more money. So if you find an opportunity that gives you more benefits, gives you more money, whatever it might be, that's worth it to you, then that might be a good reason to quit. However, when you do that, you have to make sure of a few things. If you're under contract and there are some stipulations of your contract, then you have to be sure that you're not running into any extra legal liabilities or problems that you could, mitigate if you wait a bit or, if you fulfill the contract to the end. Sometimes there are things like that. For example, you might be under a contract that has some benefits, medical benefits maybe in the US is really important. And you have an upcoming surgery or something. If you quit beforehand, they're not going to pay for your surgery because you quit during that whole contract. Or maybe you'll owe money back. You want to take care that your contracts are, you know what the consequences of quitting are. Maybe it's not worth it for you to move right away. Maybe you could wait a little bit and find another job later on. I'm just saying there are contracts out there. There are projects out there. If you're a freelancer that when they hire you, you get certain benefits, and if you leave prematurely, there might be some consequences for it. Normally, it's usually at will, so it's on both sides, so you don't normally find these consequences, but there could be. Another reason why you would want to quit is because of the environment. Maybe the environment is too toxic for you, maybe you don't like the people you're working with, or maybe the job is just, really bad for you. It's not going to help you move forward in the future. Sometimes it's worth to bite the bullet and stay there for a little bit as you find a new job, but if it's not worth it to you, then only you can really make that decision whether or not quitting is worth it. So let's discuss about, the money thing. I would say that if you are trying to quit your job now, that when you go for, when you actually go to say, hey, I'm going to quit, you should have a job already lined up. That's the most important thing to have when it comes to the money stuff. It's also a very good negotiating tool if you feel that maybe quitting is too much of an option. Maybe you like the place you work in, but you just want to get paid more. You can use that new job that you just got, that you have in your pocket, to negotiate a better salary or better benefits from your old place of work. Normally, if I'm trying to go this far, I'm already, mentally prepared to leave the job, but it's all up to you. When it comes to quitting, you may burn down some bridges. It just comes with the territory. So you may not have the best, references coming from there. But hopefully, if you made some friends there, if you made some, people who aren't working for the corporation, people who, when I mean not working for the corporation, I mean they don't have the corporate mindset. Your actual colleagues who are more down to earth, you have them as references. Not necessarily the managerial people. They're usually going to be more, pro-corporate instead of helping you out. Just saying from experience. As contractors and freelancers, we are always looking to network, and we're always looking for more people so we could reference ourselves to the next job. When it comes to quitting because of your environment, you have to be sure that you're making the right decision. It is best if you're already thinking of quitting to have a job in your pocket, but if it's that bad, then you have to decide whether or not, you could deal with the threshold of pain you're feeling. Listen, there are environments out there that are incredibly toxic. There are places out there that I've heard horror stories from. There are channels that talk about, people working for you on Facebook or stuff like that, and how the environment is really, really stressful and really, bad because the corporation will take advantage of you, advantage of your time and all that stuff. Even though you're making a lot of money, the time versus the when you work for them versus your personal time is not very respected. So there are things like that, and they're just toxic people that can work in a place, unfortunately, that you have to deal with, and maybe they're not worth dealing anymore. Maybe they're just not worth the money. Sometimes you have to think about that. However, I will say that there are times where you have to bite this bullet too, namely when you have other responsibilities. I say this as, I can't tell you what to do, but this is just what I find. Prioritize the things in your life. If you have children, if you have rent, if you don't have that much money saved up, make sure you really plan this out, because quitting without having something already lined up for you will lead you you are guaranteed to lose money without having another job waiting for you, and you can't rely on getting another job quickly enough. So I'm just saying, please plan this out before you quit. Apart from this, my advice that if you go on to quit, please be very professional about it. Say that, hey, I'm quitting for X, Y, or Z reasons. If they ask you, say that you had a good, whether or not this is true, tell them that you worked for them and you felt that the environment was okay or whatever, and just be very, very nice and professional when you do quit. Just say, hey, this is your letter of resignation, and then thank you for the time. I had a good run with you guys. This is not personal. This is for professional reasons or whatever. I don't care if it's true or not. I don't care if your reasons are not professionally motivated or not, and they're motivated by something more emotional. That does not matter. Be as professional as possible. You want to avoid burning bridges if you can afford it. Just avoiding burning bridges in general is really good, because maybe you might come back someday when the environment changes. Normally this won't happen. You'll be looking for other jobs elsewhere. That's the reality. But you want to have some things in your pocket. They already know you, and in case things are change and you want to go back to the place, you want to have that door there available to you. So don't go out in a blaze of glory. Sometimes it's normally never worth it, even if it's really, really bad. If it goes to the point where you're actually thinking of litigating against a corporation, then I would still offer the same advice. Don't start drama when you don't need to, and do everything your lawyer says. But it doesn't helps no one when you're trying to just basically vent out your frustration. You don't want to do this here. Think about your life. Think about what's going to happen for you in the future, and calm down and relax. You're already leaving. You're already getting out of the environment. So just think about your next job and the job after that. There's no one wants a dramatic person in their work. This is basically the same thing that I said in the other video, but it's true. It rings the same. Quitting is basically just you deciding when you're gonna get fired, or when you choose to leave a company, rather than the company choosing you when you're gonna leave. And the only real consequence about it is if you leave in the wrong way, you might rub the wrong people the wrong way, and sometimes it's unavoidable. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. So the best thing you can do is remain as professional as possible when you do leave, and make sure that the reasons you are leaving are good enough to actually quit. If you have to quit, then I always advise have another job already lined up. And if you have to quit right away because of some factors outside of your control, then make sure that you are planned out your finances beforehand. That's basically it. That's basically the whole video. I believe that is it for this one. So another quickie related to the last one. And I hope that you guys, if you do encounter a situation where you want to promote yourself by quitting your current job for a job for greener pastures, then just know to be a professional person, and good luck to you. That's how you rise up in the world as a contractor or freelancer, always going for that next opportunity. And I will always be on your side whenever that happens. So that's the end of all this. I think that covers basically how to quit a job with grace, if you want to call it that way. And that's it for Contract Lancer over here. Please like and subscribe, comment, do everything that every YouTuber tells you to do in order to get their channels to get it to another person or whatever. So no more ados here. Goodbye.